Magnus Carlsen playing Hao Wang at the Biel tournament in 2012. Black has just played Rook e8, so it's Magnus to play. And White has a splendid bishop pair here. Bishop f5 and bishop d4, especially d4 is a monster bishop. And White has the doubled rooks in the g-file, and he has the queen on d2, which is ready to jump to or to strike on h6, g5, f4 at any moment. White to play here, and yeah, try to think what Carlsen did in this position. Can he strike? Is it too early to strike? Should he prepare a strike? What do you think did he do here? Yeah, my question. White to play, what is your suggestion here? Yes, it's time to strike, and Carlsen stroke, in fact. Rook g7 is the first move. Black can recapture two ways, with a queen, as he did in the game, and also with a rook. And I hope you have seen how White wins after rook takes g7 as well. Queen takes g7 is the game, rook takes g7 is a variation, and then White wins as well. In this position, Carlsen decided it was time to strike. He played rook takes g7, to which Black replied queen takes, as we shall see, and then White naturally took again king g7 and queen f4. This was the game continuation. Critical, of course, is the line where Black captures on g7 with a rook. Then White takes on h6 with a queen. King g8, and now this is the position you had to foresee when sacrificing on g7 in the first place. So, White to play and win. What's the continuation now? That's it. Bishop h7. White makes full use of his splendid bishops on d4 and the one on f5. Bishop h7 wins the game for White. Good. After king g8, White wins with bishop h7 check, which exploits the pin in the g-file. The rook g7 cannot take, neither can the king, and if knight takes on h7, then obviously rook takes g7. This is game over. What remains is, after bishop h7, king f7 is checkmate by queen f6. And after king h8, White simply takes on f6, and again this rook on g7 is pinned. White wins easily. Yeah, that's it. That's it. Bishop h7. Nice point. So, after rook takes g7, going back, Hao Wang took with the queen. Magnus captured the queen, and now king takes, and bishop queen f4. Material is even. But here we have an attacking trio, in fact. White bishop pair and queen versus two knights and two rooks by Black. Okay, trio is not quite true, because Black plays knight d3, which forces White to part with one of his bishops. Bishop takes d3, c takes d3. But just look at this bishop, this monster bishop on d4, and the queen on f4. And this king on g7 is so weak, so vulnerable on the dark squares. White is better here, but some accuracy is still required. Magnus played king d2, picking up the pawn on d3. King g6, king takes. Rook e6, and now, yeah, how to continue here? Black kind of has consolidated, one could say. The king is on a light square. It's good news. It's good news. The knight on d3 is not pinned. The knight on f6 is not pinned anymore. Also, his rooks are on light squares. White has a strong bishop on d4, fantastic piece. Also, the queen, of course, is a strong piece, but he has only a mini army, 2 pieces, and in order to achieve something in this position, he needs a slightly bigger army. He needs at least 3 units, attacking units. What do you think did Carlsen play in this position? Yeah, h4. The third attacker appears on the screen, and yeah, h4 is a very, very good move, and it contains a concrete threat. Black played rook f to e7 in this position, rook f to e7, and then it's white to play and win. White advanced his h-pawn, played h4, and now we have 3 attackers. Bishop d4, queen f4, and this pawn. Black replied rook f to e7. And, well, next move. What did Carlsen do now? Absolutely. h5, very good. Black either loses material or he must concede territory to White's queen. h5 is the point of h4. Obvious, but still quite nice, I think. h5. Gaining further territory on the king's side. Black cannot take. King takes, obviously, queen f5, followed by bishop takes f6, loses, and after knight h5, white has queen g4, picking up the knight on h5. So, black must retreat with the king f7, and now queen f5, and here we see how important this third attacker already is. White has options to check on g6, pick up the h-pawn, then the h-pawn, white's h-pawn, meaning will be a passed pawn, and so on. So this position, we can say, is lost for black. He played rook e5, inviting white to take, but he didn't. He didn't take the rook, he just checked on g6, king e6. Now came f4, if you like, the fourth attacker. This was the third attacker, this is the fourth attacker. And here black resigned, because after rook f5, now white would take on f6, rook takes f6, okay, we call this the fourth attacker. This fourth attacker advances, and after king e5, the fifth attacker decides the game. Another white pawn, f4 check, and black loses this rook on f6.